this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Another day in the USA. Just another day in America. Kids from my hood look up to the system set us up for failure. I just want to make enough to pay dividends, then invest in black businesses. They teach us to hate what we see in the mirror, but it can't break our spirit. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Denver Broncos. Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Second down, Cousins. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
Leave it, Ringo, 48. We're going, let's go. Through.
Cousins on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there, Cousins to Thielen, 41 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here's Foreman. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. On third down, Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Thomas barreling ahead, and he'll go right back to Thomas, complete again. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Got a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Rashad Perriman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead.
I do believe we came here to see a game, didn't we? And it looks like he's running what we call routes versus air. You just go out there with your offensive unit and throw the football with no defense. He's 5 for 5 on the opening drive.
He was on his game there for drive number 1, but the only thing is now he can't go any higher than that. He was so perfect. Can he do it again later?
Yeah, all he cares about right now is making it 10 for 10, 15 for 15.
Keeping that going.
And he feels like he can get it done.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Sewer Cravens in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the gun, here's Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Von Miller in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions. And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum. Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point. Now they try the right side here. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense. I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was. Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play? On 3rd down, Mariota into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Now that was a beautiful play, a pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner? You mean with an exclamation mark? Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that? Ampersand? I like it. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Following the penalty, Chubb broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 3rd down, it's Freeman. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit. And, wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now out comes Minnesota. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Cousins now on 2nd down. Try to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Handoff comes to Chubb, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. 1:57 to go in this first half. Back to Denver right after this. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. First down. Here's Cousins. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They'll run with Foreman, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Cousins now. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Yellow, reach in there, yellow.
Now Foreman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave them with a 3rd down. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Wide.
Now Cousins toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Cousins the thrower. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Following the interception here, Mariota. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. First down, Mariota. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A first down throw for Mariota. Skirts by him at the 35. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Play fake. Mariota looking deep for Demarius. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's 3rd and short. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well, as we are back and underway for the second half. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here, as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And again, it's Chubb. And an alley to run. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They run it again with Chubb. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, it's Freeman, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. They're indeed going. It's Mariota. Now this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. A carry for Foreman, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. He may try and run for this. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Carlson able to put this one through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Mariota on 3rd and 2. But he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Left side caught by Diggs. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Detroit!
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Carlson now to kick this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, look over the middle, and he's got Perriman. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Rashawn Perriman with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Broncos draw a bit closer.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They run again with Foreman. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. After the run by Foreman, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Operating from the gun. Church into a double team, and it's intercepted. Cyrus Jones picks it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Left side here to Sanders. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now Mariota. Flushed out right. toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Buying time to his left. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Here comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Foreman. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Welcome back now to Denver. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Church. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's Matt Weil now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is caught. And oh, he coughed it up. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
And they'll run it here. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
So the Broncos coming out now. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Brashad Perriman, 75 yards. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this. I know you are, too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Patriot! Patriot!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Looking to throw on second down. Church. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Oh, no, he lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with, a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On play action, Mariota throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sanders. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Mariota. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Sanders. 16 yards there. 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On 1st and 10, Church. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A run for Nick Chubb. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Chubb. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And McManus able to put it through. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Detroit!
To throw on 2nd down. Church. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Obviously a big 1st down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Church. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw on second down. Church throwing the slant pattern here, complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Now, they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
And Denver getting set to take the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Back to throw. Finds Jake Butt over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. One last shot now for Mariota. Being chased out left. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the